Hi Alice, let's get you moving on this floor plan and this elevation. So first of all, I've had a look at your floor plan and I do think it's correct. I would actually need advice from you as the architect. So in other words, when I look down on it, this is the pathway that leads into the centre, and then I understand that this is actually like it starts out and this is a curved wall, isn't it? And that comes back and returns on itself. So in other words, that's sort of almost like a bit of a roof. But this is something that comes up and curves around in on itself. And these little guys around here are the same. Looking at your commencement of dimensions, I know by looking at this that you do know what you're doing, which is wonderful. Just keep in mind that architects, we have three lots of dimensions. So you have layer dimension line 1, 2, and then you will have a third one. This is the projection line, and just like with industrial designers, this projection line must always extend beyond like this. Okay, so they don't end up being square like this, they extend beyond by about 2 millimeters. But how you're actually working out these, I think you're pretty much spot on. So it's just this overall, remembering projection lines extend. You will need copy paste. You will need a third dimension line as well. That is also so 1 centimetre, and then this next one will also be 1 centimetre away, and then this is going to extend like so. All right. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab your dimension lines. Whoops, nearly out of battery. I'm actually going to grab these, and I'm going to place them. It's locked it down. I'm going to place them out of the way, Alice, because we don't need them at the moment. I'm going to pop them over here. All right, so we'll come back to those later. Now, working on your actual floor plan, the floor plan itself needs to sit up here, okay, and then you'll end up having dimensions all the way around. The first thing you really do need to do though is actually to draw your elevation. So the elevation is going to sit down here. So to draw your elevation, let's use our rulers again. So what I'm going to do is actually draw just the main part. Whoops, might help if I actually have them. Yeah. And then I'm also going to just remove all of yours. Guides clear. And let's start again. So let's start and keep it nice and simple. So I know I've got the circle, which is sort of, I guess, the first part of your design. And also the pathway, I'm pretty interested in that. Let's put that right there. Now let's zoom in, and it's really annoying, isn't it, how those guides sometimes hide your lines. Now this is actually a pathway. We'll zoom, whoops, wrong way. We'll zoom in. Now it's actually a pathway, and we all know a pathway is a little bit up off the ground. So what I'm actually going to do is use my rectangle tool, and I'm just going to draw a very flat path like so. Okay, and then this circular area where people can walk around is also a little bit off the ground in my imagination. So now I'm going to draw another one of these. I might just zoom in like so. And we'll draw this one in as well. But this time it's going to go right to here like this. Okay, and I'm actually going to send that to the back. So you don't have to do it like this, Alice, because you are the architect. But what I'm thinking is that this is, and actually what I might do, let's colour it and we'll uncolour it at the end. Make this colour. Now we'll zoom out, and I'm going to select my circle, fill colour, and there we go. Okay. All right, and now let's zoom in. This will make a bit more sense. We'll grab this one and let's make it a very dark grey. Okay. Zoom out. We'll grab your path. So we will take the colour off the floor plan when we're finished. I don't mind if this little one here has a bit of colour for you, but this should just be kept black and white like all good floor plans. But hopefully this is just more of a teaching thing, so you can actually see that this is how tall this is. So people would step up, and this is how tall the pathway is. So let's zoom in again. Really really nice and close. Where did I lose it? Here we go. So by me just making this, oh, I might make it that high. So you can see that is the path, but people would still step up onto that platform. Very minor. Okay, let's zoom out. Now, there's more to it, isn't there, Alice? I wonder what these are going to look like. I'm going to draw this one and this one, and then these two, and then I'm going to leave the rest to you to see if you can think how to follow it through. So, you're the architect, Alice. For starters, I'm going to place this first guide. Can you see I've actually we might go undo. We might actually find it easier if we zoom in and do it this way. You can actually see what we're doing. All right, we'll go view and we'll clear the guides again. All right, let's start fresh, shall we? So I'm going to grab this first guide and I'm going to place it right there. So that's where this starts. Then I'm going to place a second guide right here. And then I'm going to place a third guide right here. And last one here. So Alice, let's pretend that this part here doesn't exist. But when I'm looking at the front elevation, I'm looking at this platform front on, I'm going to see something going on here, here, and here. Let's see if we can work out what it is and what it might look like. Now again, you're the designer. I might actually bring this up closer. Now, as you're the designer, you get to decide, okay? Now, exactly what these angles and things are going to look like. But one more thing before I forget, just need to remind you that every 1 centimetre that you draw equals a metre. I've just drawn that line, and at the moment height, let's put in 10, okay? So that's 1 centimetre, which is equaling 1 metre. So you need to know exactly how tall you want things, Alice. So we can actually now select that. And how about we make that 30? So that now is 3 metres tall. So maybe that's how tall you want to make things. So this point here, okay, would perhaps reach up to 3 metres. So I'm actually just going to pop that line right. Actually, we might just sort of sit it there like that. Got a bit of an idea of height then. All right. Okay, let's see if we can work this out. So, Alice, we'll get rid of our fill. So, Alice, according to this design, it starts here. Okay, then I'm presuming it's going to go up, and we will see a bit of that, and it comes back on itself. So, let's see if we can get this line in. So, Alice, it starts here. Okay, and then it's going to go up until it hits this point here. Okay, and then it's going to come back on itself, something like this. So we'll move our 3 millimetre tall. So it's possibly going to look something like that. You're probably wondering, why isn't it starting here? Well, that's because you've actually got this smaller piece that we'll see happening around here, but plus you've also got this here, which you might be able to see from here, something like that. But at the moment, I think this is what your design is looking like. Now it does come all the way out to here. Did you notice that? So we might just delete that and try again. So we know it starts here and we know it goes to, you're going to definitely see this. Okay, and then you've got a height, which you can decide how high that goes. But that's 3 metres. So this. And now we're going to see some of this. So I'm just wondering whether your actual design might end up being something like, I knew I was going to lose that. Even like that. Okay, so this is perhaps showing some of the curve area that we might see here. So these are things you're going to have to think about. And you're not wrong, you're the architect. You can decide what it is that you're actually going to see. So again, starting here, definitely going up to this, but you can even out like this, okay? Because maybe it's not that dramatic. This is completely up to you. So it's imagining I'm standing here and I'm looking straight at this. Might even help to go back and look at some of your photos. But all of this, Alice, is up to you. So maybe you're going to show something like this, and then it's going to come back to itself like that. Maybe the other thing you might like to do is put a thickness on it, and something like this, something like this, and then down to something like this. And then because we will see part of this, won't we? And again, this is up to you, but coming in back like so. And I'll just zoom out again. So Alice, you can see a lot of fun with what you've designed. The good news is that we probably won't see all of this back here because you'll have some of these things here interrupting. Some of these here are going to look just like a flat square. So if I look at this one here, the back, that is going to pretty much just be, have I got it? Yep, and that's going to come across to there. This one is just pretty much going to be a straight piece like that. So that shape will represent this. Okay, so you're not even going to see a top there. So I hope I've got you started. Again, you've chosen something a little bit more complicated than the others, but it will be beautiful when it's finished. I'd really love you to have a go at trying to finish this and trying to work this part out, and then we can help you easily put on these dimensions. Okay, Alice, I hope this helped you out.